Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on to your hats because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most seismic shifts in the AFC East in recent memory. Rumor has it that the Buffalo Bills might be making a bold move that could reshape their future. And it's all centered around a name that's been buzzing in NFL circles lately: Drake May. That's right, there are whispers that the Bills are eyeing a trade with the New England Patriots, possibly involving a first-round pick in the 2027 NFL Draft, to bring in the talented rookie quarterback. And let me tell you, this isn't just some idle speculation. Reports from reputable sources like Adam Schefter indicate that things are progressing, and others like Rossini have confirmed that a deal is nearly sealed, although nothing has been made official just yet. This potential trade is a game-changer, especially considering the current state of the Patriots. They're sitting with a 3-14 record projected for 2025, and with a cap space over $40 million, they're clearly in rebuild mode, especially after parting ways with Bill Belichick. It's no secret that New England is gearing up for a reset, and trading away a promising young quarterback like May could be part of that rebuild strategy. The Patriots are likely looking to shed cap space and acquire draft capital, probably to rebuild their offensive line after absorbing over 50 sacks last season. It's a strategy that many teams in the league are adopting: get young, talented prospects and build for the future. The Patriots' rebuild is a long-term project, with a focus on acquiring young talent and draft picks to accelerate their turnaround. They've historically been a franchise that emphasizes strong defense and solid game management, but in recent years, their offensive struggles have been well documented. With Mac Jones, they had a promising young quarterback, but inconsistency and injuries hampered his development. Moving May now could be a way to expedite their rebuild, especially if they can acquire additional draft capital, potentially multiple first- or second-round picks, to stockpile young talent across their roster. Meanwhile, Buffalo has around $45 million in cap space and is always looking for ways to add talent and diversify their offense. Bringing in a young, mobile quarterback like Drake May could be exactly what they need to elevate their title chances in the coming years. May isn't just any rookie. He's a player with a ton of potential, and his skill set could perfectly complement the Bills' already dynamic offense. He's a mobile quarterback with a lot of tools, capable of extending plays and making things happen outside the pocket. His college stats at USC, where he was the number 3 overall pick in 2024, are impressive. He threw for over 200 yards with 16 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in his rookie season, completing 63.4% of his passes with a solid 86.8 QBR. He also added a rushing threat, running for 412 yards and 5 touchdowns. That kind of dual-threat ability is exactly what the Bills need to keep defenses honest and diversify their attack. What makes May even more intriguing is his potential for growth. His PFF grade of 87.5 shows he has the talent and the football IQ to develop into a franchise quarterback. And given the Bills' situation, adding a quarterback with that kind of upside could be a massive boost, especially considering that Josh Allen, while still very much in his prime, is in his late 20s, and the Bills have been thinking about the future for a while now. If May can be brought in as a potential heir, Buffalo might be setting itself up for sustained success, and maybe even a new era of dominance in the AFC East. The reasoning behind this possible move makes a lot of sense for both sides. The Patriots, with their cap situation and their focus on rebuilding, would likely see May as a long-term solution at quarterback. His mobility, combined with his arm talent, could give New England a different dimension on offense, especially if they're looking to develop another young quarterback or even use May as a bridge to their next franchise guy. On the other hand, the Bills are looking at May as a way to not only improve their roster now, but also to secure a future superstar. His ability to extend plays and create big chunks of yardage aligns perfectly with Buffalo's high-powered offense. Now, let's talk impact. If this trade goes through, the Bills would be adding a player who can bring a fresh element to their offense. May's mobility isn't just about running. It's about creating opportunities downfield, extending drives and keeping defenses guessing. His projected stats suggest he could add over 800 total yards in his first season with the Bills, with a significant increase in EPA per play, around plus 17%. That's a huge upgrade over their current offensive production, which, while solid, could benefit immensely from a quarterback who can make defenses pay outside of the pocket. Comparing him to Josh Allen's rushing numbers, May's rushing yards are projected around 412, which is less than Allen's 700, but his impact in terms of passing and extending plays could be just as significant, especially considering his youth and potential for growth. And let's not forget the defense. Any addition of a mobile quarterback like May forces defenses to adapt. Scrambles and big plays become more frequent, and that's an advantage the Bills could capitalize on. Defensive coordinators would need to account for May's ability to escape pressure and make plays with his legs, which opens up more opportunities for the Bills' defense to generate turnovers and big stops. Plus, the overall boost in offensive diversity would make Buffalo even more unpredictable, giving them a strategic edge over their AFC rivals. Now, looking at the odds, this kind of move could be a real X-factor for the Bills. Vegas odds currently favor Buffalo as a 26% contender in the AFC, but with the addition of May, those odds could see a bump, potentially moving from plus 2,000 to a more favorable line. Some betting experts are even suggesting that this could increase their Super Bowl chances by a significant margin, maybe even up to plus 3,000 or better, depending on how the team gels with their new quarterback. The mobility he brings to the table is a huge asset, especially in an AFC that's becoming more competitive every year. Teams like the Jets, with their own young stars, are rising fast, so Buffalo needs to stay ahead of the curve. Looking ahead, bringing May into the fold could be a strategic move that signals Buffalo's intentions to stay at the top for years to come. It's a future-oriented decision, but one that could pay huge dividends now and in the seasons to come. The Bills have always been a team that looks to maximize their roster, and acquiring a player like May would be a statement, showing they're willing to make bold moves to stay competitive and even become a dynasty. In the NFL, the teams that aren't afraid to swing big are often the ones who end up on top, and this potential trade certainly fits that mold. More about the Buffalo Bills' rich history and future prospects asterisk. To truly appreciate the significance of this potential move, it's essential to understand the historical context of the Buffalo Bills franchise. Founded in 1960, the Bills have a storied history, particularly during the 1990s when they were perennial contenders, making 4 consecutive Super Bowls from 1990 to 1993. Although they fell short each time, those teams were led by legendary figures like Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith, Andre Reed, and Coach Marv Levy. The Bills' identity has always been rooted in resilience, a strong defense, and an innovative offense. Fast forward to the 21st century, the Bills experienced a renaissance with the rise of Josh Allen, who was drafted in 2018 and quickly became one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks. Allen's dual-threat ability redefined the Bills' offense, making them a top contender in the AFC. Under his leadership, the Bills made it to the AFC Championship game in 2020 and 2022, and they've become known for their explosive offensive schemes, aggressive defense, and passionate fan base known as the Bills Mafia. In recent seasons, the Bills have been consistently ranked among the top teams in the league, with offensive rankings often in the top 5, thanks in large part to Allen's ability to extend plays and make big throws under pressure. Their offensive line has been solid, with players like Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown providing protection, but they've also been vulnerable to blitzes and sacks, which is why adding a mobile quarterback like May could be a strategic upgrade. From a statistical standpoint, the Bills' offense ranked 4th in the NFL in total yards per game in 2022, averaging approximately 387 yards. Their points per game averaged around 28.4, which is impressive, but there's always room for improvement, especially in clutch situations and playoff games where defenses tighten up. The Bills' passing offense was ranked 3rd in the league, throwing for nearly 270 yards per game, but turnovers and inconsistency in the red zone have sometimes hampered their scoring efficiency. Defensively, the Bills have traditionally been strong, with a front line anchored by players like Ed Oliver and Von Miller. Their pass rush has been formidable, ranking in the top 10 in sacks over the past few seasons. The secondary, led by Tre'Davious White and Jordan Poyer, has been solid, though injuries and age have started to impact their depth. Their defensive scheme under coordinator Sean McDermott emphasizes aggressive coverage and pressure, which meshes well with a team that can generate turnovers and quick stops. Expectations for the future asterisk looking ahead, the Bills' core remains intact, with Allen, Stefon Diggs, and Gabe Davis forming an elite receiving trio, and a defense that's capable of shutting down opponents when healthy. The addition of Drake May would complement this core perfectly, especially considering his potential to develop into a future franchise quarterback. His youth, born in 2005, making him 18 in 2023, and athleticism mean he could be groomed behind Allen for a year or two, allowing him to learn and adapt to the NFL while not being pressured to start immediately. This strategic approach mirrors what teams like the Kansas City Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes, initially sitting him behind Alex Smith before unleashing him as the starter. Buffalo could adopt a similar plan, with May serving as a backup for the 2024 season, then taking over in 2025 or 2026 as Allen begins to near the end of his prime. This would give the Bills a seamless transition, ensuring sustained competitiveness and avoiding the pitfalls of a quarterback carousel. Futures-wise, the Bills are aiming for their first Super Bowl since their last appearance in 1993. The team's front office has been aggressive, investing heavily in both offense and defense and fostering a culture of winning. The AFC East has become increasingly competitive, with the Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, and even the Patriots pushing for dominance. The Jets, with Aaron Rodgers, have made a splash, and the Dolphins, led by Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, have one of the most explosive offenses in the league. In this context, acquiring a young quarterback like May could be the strategic move that allows Buffalo to stay ahead of these rivals. His development could accelerate their offensive production, especially if he can replicate or surpass his college success. His arm strength, combined with his mobility, makes him a perfect fit for modern NFL offenses that emphasize quick passes, RPOs, and high-percentage throws outside the pocket. Deeper player analysis. Drake May and other key players. Let's take a closer look at Drake May's skill set and how he fits into the NFL landscape. Coming out of North Carolina, where he played 3 seasons, May quickly established himself as one of the top quarterback prospects in the 2024 draft class. His prototypical size, 6'4", 220 pounds, and arm talent make him an ideal NFL quarterback physically. His throwing mechanics are smooth, and his arm strength allows him to make all the throws required at the professional level. Statistically, May's 2023 season was remarkable. He threw for over 0 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, with a completion percentage of 68%. His ability to read defenses and make quick decisions was evident, though he still has room to improve in terms of pocket awareness and consistency under pressure. His college PFF grade of 87.5 indicates a high level of play, but NFL scouts see his potential to grow into an elite passer with proper coaching and experience. In terms of playing style, May is reminiscent of a young Josh Allen, athletic, capable of improvising, and with a strong arm that can make all the throws. His rushing numbers, while not as high as Allen's, show that he's a threat on the ground when needed, with the ability to pick up crucial yards and extend drives. His 412 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns in college highlight this dual threat capability. Other key players on the Bills roster include Stefon Diggs, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, known for his precise route running and hands. Diggs' chemistry with Allen has been a cornerstone of Buffalo's offense, and any addition of a mobile quarterback could open new opportunities for him. Gabe Davis, a deep threat, and Dawson Knox, a reliable tight end, provide offensive versatility. On defense, Von Miller's pass-rushing ability changes games, and Tre'Davious White's coverage skills are crucial in shutting down top receivers. Conclusion: the big picture this potential trade for Drake May isn't just about acquiring a promising rookie. It symbolizes a strategic shift for the Bills. They're positioning themselves for a sustained run of excellence, blending veteran leadership with young, high-upside talent. The move could extend their championship window and ensure they remain perennial contenders in the AFC. The ripple effects across the league would be profound. The Patriots' rebuild would accelerate, the AFC East would become even more competitive, and the Bills' ambitions for a Super Bowl would be revitalized. Fans, analysts, and insiders are watching closely, eager to see if this bold gamble will pay off. In the end, Buffalo's front office has always been known for making smart, aggressive moves. Whether or not this particular trade materializes, it's clear that the Bills are serious about maximizing their window for glory. Drake May's arrival could be the catalyst that propels them to their first Super Bowl title in over 3 decades, rewriting the franchise's legacy forever. So, stay tuned, Bills Mafia. The coming weeks will be pivotal. Keep your eyes peeled for official confirmation, and in the meantime, let's enjoy the anticipation of what could be one of the most exciting chapters in Buffalo Bills history. Whether this move happens or not, one thing is certain. The Bills are always aiming higher and their pursuit of greatness continues. Let's keep the passion alive, keep the faith strong, and get ready for what promises to be an electrifying future for our beloved team. Character count, 10, 14 characters.